place I worked in was bombed. Tea rationing came on, and I got a job in the food office. So that started. I was in the food office whenever they asked for volunteers to come to the American Red Cross or to dance. That's how I met the Americans. I was just turned 18 then, and I think it was about January or March. Can't remember when they came. And this was 1942, wasn't it? They came. 1942, beginning of 1942 sometime. And one of the girls in the office had said, oh, they're having a big dance hall for the soldiers, the plaza. They're making it into a place for soldiers, and they want somebody to, dance with them and come join the club. So she took him round, took her names from the rest of the girls. Of course, I had put my name down too, and they was to send somebody up to vet us, because when Kim spoke to my mum and dad, we got the invitation to go.
Uh-huh. What were they vetting you for, do you think?
I have no idea. Probably in case we talk too much or something. Maybe Quislings or something. But to come up to see it, I think, I have no idea what they came for. To talk to Mum and Dad, think we got their permission to go. Of course, we went there nearly every night then after that. And met these Americans, and they were, naturally I brought everybody home. My mother had an open house. She was so well used to my dad bringing people home. And he used to teach a band, and the old men were all in there. My brothers brought their friends, we brought our friends. And so when I met the Americans and were dancing, they wanted to see what the house was like, that have an Irish house. Naturally, I brought them all home.
And did you make particular friends with any of them, or did you just stay friendly with lots of them?
Just stayed friendly. Oh, well, made particular friends with Bill Owens and Bill Caraway, and a soldier called Ray Heward. He came from Boston. The other two came from California. And we just met lots of them, just didn't. We were just particular friends with those three. When we had an opening dance at the Red Cross, they had put a buffet on, and the Americans were so surprised that all the girls eat the bread and butter and left the cake. We used to call the cake yellow pearl, but the bread they had baked at their kitchens, but this other stuff they had bought in from the shop. Everybody left this yellow pearl and eat the bread. I thought it was gorgeous.
So the bread was good, but the cake was terrible?
Yeah. The bread was white bread, and we hadn't seen white bread for so long.
Yeah. And did they not make any cake themselves or anything like that then?
No, they thought they were giving us a treat with all this shop stuff. And they gave us olives, and I'd never tasted an olive before, and I thought it was horrible. And for drinks, we had Coca-Cola, and at first that tasted awful, but we got used to the taste of that.
And can you remember what sort of music they played at the dances?
Oh, jive.
Jive?
Mostly. One boy that was at the dance, we went on picnics and things with them, and one of the Red Cross girls, Peggy Gillespie, she organised trips everywhere, and went to visit different houses, stately homes. They used to put a notice up, and if you wanted to go, you put your name down, and then they sent you an invitation to come. So one of the boys we'd gone to the Mourne Mountains, and we were on a hike up the Mournes, and the weather turned awful, So this bank manager who had invited them to go on this trip, he had a house up in the morn somewhere. So we all went in there, and there was a piano, and one of the boys produced a piece of music, and he said, I'll teach you all this. So all gathered round the piano, and he taught it. Mersey dotes and dozy dotes and little lambs of ivy. That was the first time I'd heard it, and we couldn't make out what he was saying at first. Then when he broke it down, just the music, if it sounds queer and funny to your ear and a little bit jumble and jivey, just say Mersey dotes, Mers eat oats, and does eat oats, and little lambs eat ivy. That's the actual words.
And how many of you would have gone on that trip? Were there lots of you, or?
Oh, yes.
To the Mourns?
Yes, we had, I should think about 20.
20, yeah. So enough for a good sing-song?
All of these picnic things, we all went, when we went on a picnic, the boys brought sandwiches with peanut butter and jelly. We couldn't figure out, said, do you like peanut butter or jelly? How did they get jelly in a sandwich? Of course, the only jelly we thought about was, Jello, as they called it. Didn't know that. Everything was jelly. And said, how did they get jelly in a sandwich? So all the girls all said, oh, we'll have jelly. See what was in it. It was jam. I said, oh, when you open the sandwiches, all you could hear was, oh, it's jam.
Did you like it when you tasted it?
Yeah, it was just ordinary jam, but see, we thought, they had made it, like jelly and stream jam,
Yeah.
no seeds or anything
Yeah.
in it. And it was like they call all jam jellies, but their name or what we call jelly was Jello.
Yeah.
So it was a different thing altogether. And peanut butter, they all loved their peanut butter. Strange, got used to it.
Yeah. Had you had peanut butter before that, or was that your first?
No.
That was your first taste.
These were all the first time.
Yeah.
And you should have seen some faces. But we got to like the things, so that was it. Well, in wartime, you were glad of anything.